video for today, guys. I want to tell you what it feels like to be an airhead. Now, I only felt what it felt like to be an airhead from 18 to 22. Now, if you're still an airhead, this is not a video where I'm talking mess about airheads, but you want to do what you can to not be one as much. So, airhead is not a formal term. I believe, airhead, it describes somebody that's oblivious to what's going on. But I'm using airhead in the context. It's a more euphemistic way of saying someone that doesn't read, doesn't write, doesn't do anything but eat, sleep, and defecate. That's it. So when I was done in high school, I had no intention. Well, I enrolled in college for like the next year, but I didn't know why I was going. And this is a true story. What got me reading? Look this up yourself. There was an actor on this movie called Crooklyn. Her name is Zelda Harris. She's about 10 years older than me. Well, 9 years older than me. Her birthday is in like February. And she is a Princeton. She graduated from Princeton in 2007, like 10 years after I began picking up books. And I was just like, wow, she went to Princeton. She's educated. And it didn't really show what she was doing currently. But I said, whoa, that makes me want to pick up a book. And that's why I started reading. I started reading because of Zelda Harris. I looked at her Wikipedia page and it showed her, like, out of all the cast members, it appeared, and I mean the family, like the brothers and the sisters, she was doing the best out of all of them. So try to look at it like this: 18, 19, 20, 21. Because I was still in school at 18, but I never read to understand what I read. Like, I look at a bunch of words and I don't really know what the words mean. And let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about. I have some mashed potatoes on the table, and I'm going to just describe what I read. So, this is how I read. I don't read like this when I'm trying to obtain information, but when I was beginning to learn how to read, this is what I did. So, okay. It says heat, water, and I'm just looking at the sentence for the first time. I've never really read the back of the ingredients, but it says heat, water to rapid boil in saucepan. Remove from heat. Okay. So heat, water. So when you hear the word heat, that is a verb. They want you to perform an action on the water. You want to heat it. But a heat can also be a noun too, because heat is a thing, and is also, but it's used as a verb. So heat. My best definition of heat. This is how I read. My best definition of heat would be to increase temperature. In that context, like heat, to increase temperature, to make hot. Water is the noun. That's what the verb. So the verb is first, then the noun. The noun would be water, which is the liquid that falls from the skies that appear in oceans and rivers. Heat, water. To rapid. So I'm trying to remember. To would be the preposition, but there are there are verbs. There are sometimes, because I got to brush up my English a little bit, but sometimes verbs will have to before, like in front of the word, and it's saying to, not like towards, like go to the store, towards the store, location, but they mean too rapid. Fast, rapid is fast. In, that's the preposition in, inside saucepan, and that's another word for pan. Or another example, stir potatoes until well blended. So stir is the verb to move the fork or spoon in a circular position. Potatoes is a noun. I'm probably gonna itch my nose, but potatoes is a noun, meaning a vegetable that grows from the ground that is edible. That's my best definition for that. Until is the preposition. See, prepositions, they show time, location, position. Until the time. So until, when. So until, another word for until would be when. So that's what until, that's the context that's used in. Well, which is an adjective. Good, and blended. So when I initially started reading, I would read so that I understood the words that were most likely going to appear in every other book. Like, I didn't just read to hear the word. I read to understand what the word meant. Like, what is the word with? What does it mean? What's the part of speech? How do you spell it? Those things are what I did. And I stopped doing it when I started reading to obtain knowledge. Like, you read to understand, but when you're reading to obtain knowledge, like when I would read a textbook on history or science, I'm reading to obtain the knowledge so I can show it off with people. But I don't read how I initially read like that anymore. I started incorporating it in my study habits, like here and there. But like when I start my class, I'm gonna literally just self-teach. Even though I passed the English class, we didn't go through the entire textbook. The same thing with math. I want to just self-teach myself every lesson in my books. So by the time I graduate, I've read all my textbooks. But when I was an airhead, I never picked up a book. I was too worried. This is what I did at 17, 18. I ate, I slept, I was on the computer a lot, I watched YouTube. The most reading I've done was through Wikipedia. And that's the little words that I knew, or the little facts that I knew that were just really weird, like really strange things that a lot of people don't know, come from Wikipedia. Like, one time, I'm just trying to think of a time. It's a lot of things I've learned from Wikipedia I will give credit to, but you don't want to be an airhead. It's not fun. It just makes life, unless you have like a business or somebody's taking care of you, it's okay to be an airhead. Like, unless you're a rich kid or you got it made, you need to learn how to read to understand. Because reading to understand takes you a long way. But yeah, my life in my early teen and an early adulthood, I was an airhead.